Today we're going to be talking about all things cultivating confidence. I'm super excited for this because talking about confidence is actually one of my favorite things to do because I love to inspire confidence in people who maybe just don't even know what confidence might look like or how to get more confident. I'm going to give you actual tangible steps. So by the end of this video, you're going to walk away knowing how to physically appear more confident. And I'll probably make a different video on mentally how you need to conjure up confidence, not only physically, but also mentally. But in today's video, we're going to be talking about all things physical confidence. Also, for any returning subscribers, hi and welcome back to my channel. My name is Deandra and I love helping you guys and empowering you guys and giving you all the tips and tools to be your best, most elevated self. If you're a person who feels like you go throughout the world and you can't tell how other people feel about you, or you feel like you might be lacking confidence, or maybe you just didn't grow up in a space where you felt super confident and now you're an adult and it just never was something that you thought about, this video is for you. Even if you do feel super confident right now, there's always ways to improve your confidence. Let me turn off this light in the back because I think that it's not focusing. Let's see if that helps. So when we're talking about confidence, we just have to remember that humans are verbal and non-verbal creatures. We read people whether we know it or not. That's how you can tell when someone's being fake, is because you're listening to what they say, but their facial features or their mannerisms are giving off something completely different. So it's really important to be able to understand the nonverbal cues that you're giving off in places and spaces. But that's why nonverbal confidence is such a big deal. The first thing that we have to get into before we even get into tangible steps is mindset a little bit, because self-awareness is one of the biggest things for giving off self-confidence. I'm sorry, I've had to adjust myself. If you don't have any self-awareness, then you're not going to be able to tell whether or not you're actually a confident human being, and more than likely other people aren't going to view you as confident. So your self-awareness is your ability to see yourself in spaces amongst other people and understand how your actions actually affect them. This is super important for confidence because if you don't understand your verbal, nonverbal cues, then you'll never be able to tailor them to create and cultivate that confidence. Now that you understand self-awareness and why it's so important, if you're not in a place in life where you want to be self-aware or you're willing to look inward and see how your actions affect others, this might not be the video for you. But if you are the person who is ready to self-evaluate, look at the way that you act in spaces amongst other people, then you're definitely in the right place. The first tip to confidence is going to be posture. This is so important. So I went to school for communication. This stuff is like second nature to me. I notice it when people slouch or when people have bad posture. I notice it and it drives me insane. Now, not everybody's like this. Not every single person notices, but a lot of people, especially in higher spaces, they will notice your posture. If you notice that someone is slouching and they're making their body small or contorting their body, whatever it may be, you will immediately subconsciously categorize them as not as confident. And it's because confidence is your ability to take up space, even physically, just like as primal human beings, like the most confident human being we look up to and we respect. And usually that's the person who's taking up the most space. I also want to make a caveat for this video that there's a big difference between arrogance and confidence. Confidence is a very humble way of self-expression and knowing yourself, where arrogance is a know-it-all factor where you don't take any kind of feedback from others, and again, it's missing that self-awareness. Back to what I was saying about slouching. If you notice someone slouching and not sitting up straight, you will subconsciously categorize them as more insecure because they are taking up less space and it looks as if they're trying to hide or shy away or escape from something. It's again a subconscious cue for insecurity and the opposite of confidence. So really just making sure that you're sitting up straight when you're sitting at tables, especially dinners, even walking. Posture is super important, and it's just one indication of someone who is confident subconsciously. This is something that you need to work on. It's not the easiest thing. It can be uncomfortable at first, and people, I know this, like growing up, people be like, oh my gosh, you sit up super straight, and make it seem like it's a bad thing. I think that a lot of confidence is actually attributed and tied to being uppity, and I don't think that that's the case at all. I think that being confident, sitting up straight, having good posture, having really good etiquette is something that we should all want to indulge in, because confidence can be the difference between you getting a job and you not. And I believe that everyone should be confident if they want to be confident. So the next time you see yourself maybe slouching, notice yourself in photos, be sure to sit up straight and just be aware of your posture, especially in spaces where you want to emit confidence. I also want to note that if you watch public speakers like Jay Shetty, or you even watch presidents, you will notice that they always sit up very straight. They're always standing very straight. Again, people who are in places of power are normally confident. So just watch them, study them, and you will see that this is just one of the most basic things that they do. The second one kind of goes into posture. It's body language, and this is picking up your feet when you walk. When you are walking, you want to make sure that you're actually picking up your feet, and it might sound like a very weird and specific thing to pay attention to, but the length of your strides as well as how high you pick up your feet are going to indicate confidence to other people. Shuffling your feet is an indication of insecurity, directionlessness, you don't know where you're going, maybe you just don't want to be seen. These are all things that shuffling your feet and taking very short strides give off. I was actually listening to a podcast, and it was a speaker who talks about serial killers and people who attack other individuals. And one of these subconscious indicators, or one of the subconscious things that the actual serial killers looked for when they were targeting or picking their victims, was the way that their victims walked. They targeted people who had shorter strides. And again, this is because it came off more directionlessness and more insecure. So they are a more likely an easy target than someone who has longer strides, knows where they're going, is picking up their feet, and has a direct direction that they're heading in. Such a super small thing to pay attention to, but also such a big indicator of confident people. Look at supermodels. When a supermodel walks, you assume that she's confident, even though you have no idea who she is. You have no idea what she sounds like. You know nothing about a supermodel other than the shape of their body and the way that they walk. Confidence is all about in the way that you walk. Tip number 3, stop fidgeting. I know this might be hard for some people, even me. When I talk, I have a tendency to talk with my hands a lot, and it's something that I definitely work on, because if you're fidgeting a lot while you're talking, it is very distracting to people. Have you ever noticed, maybe if you've sat beside someone in class or at work and they're incessantly tapping their leg or fidgeting their fingers, or maybe they're like touching their hair or twirling their hair or whatever? Have you ever noticed yourself getting bothered? If you haven't, I have. I have for you. I have on your behalf. Fidgeting indicates nervousness. Nervousness indicates insecurity. Insecurity is the opposite of confidence. So when you're talking to people, don't be twiddling your thumbs, don't do too much of this. Don't be shaking your knee. Don't be rocking back and forth. Confident people, they look at you and they will talk to you, and they will be as still as possible. And not because stillness necessarily is just like the best thing in the world, because you can nod your head. Like, there's cues that you give, obviously, but it shows that they have control of their body. Confident people are self-controlled. They understand how their body may affect others. This goes back into the self-awareness. So being more still when you're talking to someone is less distracting, so it really puts the focus on you and that individual. The next one is speaking too fast. And when I tell you, growing up, I was told so many times that I needed to work on my speech because I talked entirely too fast. Like, I could literally talk like this and you would never be able to understand what I was saying. Articulate your words and speak at a pace where people can actually understand you. Sometimes this takes a conscious effort. For me, again, growing up, I'm the fastest talker that you could ever talk to. Like, I would literally, I have 1,000 thoughts going through my mind, and I could talk incredibly fast, but I have to make it a point to slow down, because confident people articulate their words. Confident people articulate their words. Confident people are also not in a rush to finish their sentence. A lot of times when we get nervous, or when we feel lesser than, or when we feel intimidated by people, we feel the need to hurry up what we're saying, because there's this impression that what we're saying maybe isn't as important, or maybe we want to get to the end of the sentence because we feel like the other person is being impatient. Confident people do not do that. You're gonna sit here and you're gonna listen to me talk. I'm gonna finish my sentence, and I'm gonna go at a pace that makes sense for the conversation, but that also you can understand, and you're gonna understand every single word that I say. If you talk too fast, you mumble. If you talk too slow, you mumble. These two things, it's a tempo that you kind of have to play. It's a dance, but either of the spectrums, either too fast or too slow, that does not indicate confidence. Too slow, it almost seems like you're incompetent. You maybe don't know where the sentence is going. Maybe you can't form thoughts, and that's like an indication that maybe this person isn't as bright. And then if you talk too fast, it gives off the impression that you're nervous. And so again, none of these things are bad. This is just for the person who wants to increase their confidence. So if you feel like you talk too fast, you don't articulate your words, and you're not speaking properly, that might give off the impression that you're not as confident. The next one is going to be interrupting others. Have you ever tried to have a conversation with someone and you're trying to go back and forth, but every time you go to finish your sentence, they're cutting you off, and then they're trailing off into a new part of the conversation or interjecting something about themselves? Have you ever been annoyed at that? You probably didn't view them as confident. You probably didn't see them and say, you know, that person is super confident. Every time they cut me off, like it just feels so good. Confident people have a way of making other people feel good as well, while also showing confidence within themselves. Stop interrupting others. Let people finish their full thoughts. Let people finish their full sentences. Not only is it gonna make you look good because it seems like you are listening to understand instead of listening to respond, but it's also just respectful. It makes people feel like, wow, this person really cares about what I have to say, and this person isn't listening just to get a word in. It also just looks bad if you're repeatedly cutting people off, and it gets annoying. Confident people aren't going to be trying to get on people's nerves, and they're not going to try to annoy you. So just being aware that if you are listening to someone speak, as much as you want to talk, as much as you want to get a word in, as much as you want to remember a point, because it is easy to forget points as we talk, but again, we're listening to understand, we're not listening to respond. Okay? You hear me? Is this hitting home? Are you guys tap, tap, tap? Is this mic on? I hope it is. I hope that this audio is not gonna have to be my camera and it's gonna be this mic. I just want you guys to know that these are the smallest things that you can change, and it makes a world of difference for your confidence. You will literally feel like a new person if you just start to pay attention to these small things. I also wanna make a side note that not everybody is aware of what confidence is. And if you wanna admit confidence, confident people recognize confident people. And then also insecure people recognize confident people because it's a little bit intimidating. So you just have to realize, like, if you start implementing these things and maybe people are like, why are you sitting up so straight? Or like, why are you talking like that? You have to understand that it's not a bad thing that you're acting this way or moving this way or bettering yourself in this way. It's just different for a lot of people. I love to help to elevate people because I believe that we should not have our standards so low on the way that we want to present ourselves in society and in this world. I want to help you land that job. I want to help you land the man that you want. I want to help you get into the best position that you possibly can for yourselves, your families, your feelings, your mental health, whatever it may be. I want to inspire you that you are so capable of anything that you put your mind to. I hope that these tips were super helpful for you. Again, I want to make a second video about the mental part of confidence, and then also there's so many more other subconscious confident hacks that I have for you guys, but I will be making those into the next video for you so that this one isn't too long. Let me know what you guys want to see on the next video. I hope that you enjoyed it today. Now go out there and be confident, baby. We want you to be shining like a star. We want you to feel amazing, and we want you to strut like those supermodels because you deserve it. I'll see you on the next episode. Mwah.
some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're channeling wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry.
Whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here.